Hi, good afternoon. We are here presenting this webinar where we are going to present an awesome project that we have done in collaboration with Anoche. We have here Chiara, who is the lighting designer from Anoche, who did the design for that project. We have Jesus, our technical expert, who did all the programming and the commissioning of the project. And the project that we are going to present, it's a restaurant named Akai, located in Brussels. We are going to show you all the details of the project, all the technicalities from the design point of view, from the commissioning, the technical point of view, the role of Protopixel on that project. And we are going to record this session. So for all of those who register into the webinar, you're going to receive the recording of the webinar. We also have a chat window where you can post your questions. If there are any questions that we don't have the time to reply, we will make sure that you get a reply of those questions by email. And now I'm gonna leave Chiara to talk a little bit to present us Anoche, lighting design studio, very, very famous here in Spain. Chiara?
Thank you, Joan. Thank you for the introduction. So Anoche, as here you can see, is a lighting design studio based in Barcelona. We have more than 15 years of experience, and our main core is hospitality and high-end residential. And sometimes also we have the opportunity to do different projects that are a little bit more challenging in terms of lighting and control. Here we have two examples, the Chroma restaurant here in Barcelona and the Pantera Mambo. And now we are going to have also the opportunity to present this amazing project that we did in collaboration with Protopixel, that is Akai.
So first of all, I would like to introduce this concept of hospitality 2.0. Okay. Akai it's a good example that illustrates very well this concept that we have named hospitality 2.0. It's our own naming, and here I'm gonna read a little bit what we have written on the slide, because I think it really condensates very well what we mean by hospitality 2.0. So we are talking about these hybrid spaces where gastronomy, entertainment, and technology converge to create experiences that evolve throughout the day. Here, as we have written there, like the light is not only a backdrop in the design, but it really shapes the experience. And this is actually what we are going to show you in Akai. We think that the project really it's a really good example of the light really shaping the experience of the customers. So what is Chiara? Tell us a little bit what is Akai. Introduce us the restaurant.
Okay, so the concept of the restaurant was a fusion of Mediterranean and a Japanese restaurant. They have it very clear that they wanted to provide different times in the day. So they wanted to provide lunch, dinner, and always with this background with fusion Mediterranean Asian concept.
So here, I mean, one of the things that I'm interested, I would like to know is what role did the color and the dynamism played in the project?
So it was actually part of the client's brief, and they had really a very accurate idea of the kind of restaurant that they wanted. And in fact, the client showed us a video of a project where dynamic light had a really main role. And from that point, we begin to work, even though the dynamics was important. We tried to work this process as we normally do in our projects. So we received a first mood image of what the client had the idea.
So this was like what you received from the client side, no?
Correct.
In terms of the briefing.
So that was the mood.
The mood board.
We had these colors: black, red, white, beautiful people, drinks. So very, very specific. And these were the renderings that we received from the client.
Okay, so these are generated by the client before.
Correct.
Okay.
This was the interior designer
Who was working for
CGIs
them? Yeah.
that were provided to us, because we normally need to have a little bit of idea of how it's going to be the space, and of course how it's going to be working. So this was the first approach, and after that, what we normally do is we try to analyze and to explain to the client if we have understood correctly what is the concept behind. So we defined like different aims, goals. So we had the reflections, we had the light red and white color, we had the fact of the night, and and also one of the challenges it was that the restaurant was in the
rooftop,
level,
no?
in the level 30
Yeah.
of a tower in Brussels, with all a facade of windows. So natural light was coming, will imply also a main role in the space, even if the client told is Brussels. So don't mind very much about natural light, because we are not in Spain. But it's true that we had to take that in consideration, because the client wanted really to have this kind of usability throughout all the moments of the day.
Yeah.
And this is an example that we took as a reference, a restaurant in New York. And so here is where the concept of metamorphosis came up, and where we begin to
like how it's transformed throughout the day, no?
Throughout the day, exactly, and how the lighting plays an important role in all this. So here is a little bit a layout distribution on the program of the space. So we had a main area. The center part was the bar. Okay. Then we had also the lounge area where people could gather, drink, have an after work, and we had also a dinner part. So there was a sitting area, booth area, and there was also the sushi counter, where there was a chef that was always preparing sushi throughout the different moments of the day.
And how do you approach a scene creation when you have to combine functional and dynamic lighting in the same space?
Well, actually, we don't want to talk about dynamics or static light, but what we try to get is the approach of all the layers of light that are part of the scheme. So here what we try to explain, this was part of the presentation that we made to the client. And in here we always try, normally our main goal is that the light must be invisible, and must be integrated in architecture. And here we can see, the different kind of lights, where also appears the white warm light, but also the red light. And finally, dynamic light appeared as a part of the layering of the scheme.
So for you, when you're working on the design, you are working on several layers, and then adding the the lighting movement, it's just adding another layer. You are
It's
treating
just, exactly, because finally all the layers of the light, what helps is to really create different moods. And we think that has to be part of the scheme. And here we can see also examples on how we showed our work on how we apply the light, and finally appeared the dynamic light, because one of the challenge was how to integrate that dynamic light in this architectural environment, and that didn't have so much presence, because one of our main goals, as I said previously, is that light must be invisible. So we begin to work on how to apply that, and the client came up with the idea to use these hexagonal mirrors that they were part of the beginning of the project.
Yeah.
In the renderings, there was a mirror, but then appeared the hexagon. Okay.
But also because in the space there was also the integration with the light, making the light, as you said, invisible within the space, integrated with the architecture. But there was also the integration of the light with the sound, no?
Correct. That was another point that, as I said, no, the client wanted to have all the lunch, dinner, after work, but also he wanted to have a club, to give the option to the clients to stay there, have a drink, and begin to dance. So that in that moment is where the dynamic light and the music plays a main role, because it's like a call to the people that maybe are finishing to have dinner, and it's like, okay, let's get up from our chairs and begin dancing. It's another change, so you feel it as something.
And for that you were using the hexagons, no?
Correct. So here I can show you. This was a bespoke luminaire that we created. That the idea, as you can see, is we have this kind of spy mirror, so that when this light was off, you didn't see anything.
You're gonna see later on
the
pictures.
And instead, and then when the light switches on, then the show begins.
Yeah, here we can see it in the renders that we are presenting. That was the concept, no? That was presented to the client.
Yes, here was like how we integrated, and also the interaction with the music. And in here it will also, since now we were talking also only about red light and white warm light, but with having this, we had the opportunity to have the RGB white. So here we have RGB and white color also.
Yeah. So here, I mean, we have seen so far all the designs, the renders, all the conceptual design that Anoche prepared. But now we can start seeing some actual pictures of the space, and see actually how that vision, how that design materialize into the physical space. No, so we have here already some actual pictures. So these are not renders anymore.
Correct. So here we can see very well, no, how finally from the concept to the reality, no, where we see the light, but it's quite integrated. We see the people, no, that here is also the role of the natural light that comes, and finally that you can have like dinner, but you don't feel that you're in a club.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was something that was important, because it's quite weird, no, to have lunch or dinner in a club, or have dancing in a restaurant. So in there also the lighting really helps to.
When we were discussing before, you said something that I found that it was really interesting, and I think it's one of the key aspects of these kind of spaces, is that the clients, they don't want to have dinner or lunch in a club, and they don't want to dance in a restaurant. No,
Correct.
so actually for that transformation, the role of the light, and in this case also the dynamic lighting, it's crucial, no,
It's
to
very
achieve
crucial.
that result.
Yes, that's why it's for us it's very important that we are talking about dynamic light. But
Yeah.
for us, the space has to be dynamic, and the light and the control system must really help to give that multiple personalities to that space.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to ask you. What is the role, no? How the dynamic lighting contribute to this emotional transformation of the space?
Yes. Yes. So as I said, it was really crucial because without having that option of scenarios, different settings, we couldn't really change the space. So it was really important to have these two, let's say, language not together, to speaking together, the light and the control, because for us it's something that must be in the same in a project always.
Here, actually, we can see in the slide that we are presenting, no, the space, pretty much the same space throughout the day, no, and how the space, the same space, no, is being transformed. Also, especially in daytime, as you said before, we have it's a massive facade. We have a lot of natural light coming in. And then how the light is totally changing that space and the atmosphere and eventually, the emotions of the people who are there, because this is the power of light, not shaping the
different
atmospheres.
So for example, here now we have, as you say, the natural light has a big impact on the space, and the red light, you don't see it very much because it's not really so visible. But then here, for example, the red light, that Asian concept that we had from the beginning, you begin to perceive it. And then when we begin to use the other colors, also here the back head of the bar was really another important key, because that was always also moving together with the hexagons, and was also, like, as I said, the call, no?
Yeah, we can see, actually, we can see on these two slides, like we can see the hexagon lead, and then on the left side, it's totally invisible with these spy mirrors.
That was something that we were really very, even if it was not a requirement from part of the client, but it was like our main challenge was to really make it invisible, because for us it's more all the scheme, that not only the dynamic light.
Yeah, the results are amazing. Let's see the results. No, we have a video that we wanted to play, where we can see actually the final result of the project. I think the results are awesome, amazing. So from your point of view, what capabilities should have the lighting control system to support this design process, this creative process?
Well, I think that one of the most important things is that we need to support all the technology options. So in this space we had decorative lighting with face cut, we had architectural lighting with DALI, and we had also the DMX and SPI. Sorry if I said it correctly. I never remembered it. So it was important to have it all in the same place, and also that for us the most important is to not have constraints, so that we have really freedom to create and don't think in limitations, because so that really I think the result, it's what we had in mind.
So to dig a little bit and analyze more of the technical side, no, of the project and how that was achieved, we have here Jesus, who was the expert who did travel there to Brussels, did the commissioning, program everything, and he's gonna show us. I mean, the backstage of what we have seen. We have seen the final result, and then now what we are going to see is with Protopixel how we achieve those results. So I'll give you the floor to Jesus.
Okay, so first of all, well, you have seen that what Kiara say about the space, how they visualize this space, and what were the client's needs. From my side, I needed to make this real, and in order to show you a bit, I would like to share my screen so you can see the behind the scenes this commissioning. For this particular project, I clearly identified 3 stages. The first, it was engineering, where I define and by talking to Kiara and understanding the ideas of each of the spaces, we started to we started to define which type of luminar, what was the technology behind these spaces. The next stage was the mapping, where we bring all this physical work into the software suite, where later on we can play with. And the last phase was the move programming. That's how we call the scene programming. So it's basically capturing the atmosphere and bringing into the space for the client, so later on they can trigger it by keypads or maybe automatic scenes. So first of all, I would like to show you what we got. First thing I asked Kiara about it is to get a floor plan view of all the luminaires in the project. So right here we got like the full space. And after having this and discussing with Kiara what was the idea behind each of the spaces, we started to play with the technologies that we have on market, and the ones that we can play with Protopixel. And we identified some of them. First of all, we needed DALI, so we can play with the brightness, turning things on and off, and yeah, for most of the project, that's what we wanted. Also, we wanted to bring some keypads and sensors, and that's why in our case, our gate DALI wire bring us. Next thing we addressed was the SPI, because they wanted to have like this dynamic. They wanted to have this space with different atmosphere, different vibes. So that what SPI brings is that if we add different contents and we play with the movements, we can definitely change how the space feels. Also DMX, we wanted to have some colors, but maybe more like in a static way. And then we knew that they wanted to add some decorative lighting. Yeah. So that's why we integrated also face code dimming, so we can play it and integrate it as well.
So basically, just summarizing here, we have some DALI 2 luminaires. Do we have DALI sensors here as well?
Yeah, we do.
So DALI sensors, we have switches, we have keypads. Of course, we have also our app controlling the scenes. We have the face cut for the decorative lighting.
Yes.
We have DMX and SPI. These hexagons that were playing the audio reactive contents were SPI. So it's like plenty of protocols integrated into the same project.
Yeah, and in order to make this work, well, we define which brains and gates we're gonna need.
So for those of you who are not familiar, so we have 2 types of devices. We have brains, which are computers, and gates, which are controllers. So depending on the protocol, we will require one gate or the other.
Yeah. So basically, for the daily lighting, we needed to add some daily wire. Basically, we added four for the daily lighting, also for the face cut dimming, the motion sensor, the daily keypads, and for the SPI, we used the SPI wire long range. For the DMX, we added the DMX ARNet gateway, and then after defining this, we designed a general architecture of how the things are gonna be wired. And later on, I designed some general schematics so they can understand how things needs to be wired, like how long range is wired to the last strips, but also how to wire Protopixel daily lighting control. So I added some like just small drawings so they can understand how they're gonna be wiring this in Brussels. So it was really important because we are based in Barcelona, and this was this is in Brussels.
Yeah.
So we needed to have a really good communication with them, and the drawings help us a lot to show them how
all the information.
Yeah. Just before we jump into the next stage, I brought all the different protocols. First of all, for the mapping stage, I got all the SPI and DMX lighting into the mapping tool, and in order to make this,
most of you are familiar, but the mapping tool is the software that we use for the creation of all the dynamic contents. We deal with SPI and DMX no matter what is the protocol. We deal with it in the same way with the same software.
Yeah, well, here I can show you what it is. This is basically the software that John were describing.
So yeah, tell us what we are seeing right now, Jesus.
Right here, I brought some layouts of each of the dynamic lighting. Here you see those are the hexagons that Chiara was showing there. With all these hexagons on the ceiling, you will see that we have plenty of them. In order to map them, I needed to add all these last strips that are inside these hexagons. We also have...
How many pixels do we have in the hexagon? It was 1 pixel or?
No. We have more than that. It is around 21, something like that.
Pixels.
Yeah. So by adding them to the software and adding some contents over them, we had this opportunity to show Chiara and Anoche how it will look with the render view that we have.
They could preview what would be the final result, no?
Yeah, definitely, just like that. So we had also all the DMX lighting to the software, and that's it. That's how we try to bring all this physical work into the mapping tool. Basically, this for dynamic lighting. But in order to make the mood programming, we needed to bring all this info coming from mapping tool into the project tool for the last phase, which was the one that we use for capturing the atmosphere. Now you see here, this is the project tool, which is the software where we added all these luminaire, all this physical work into the software. So later on, we can start playing with the lighting of the space. In this case, I talked to Chiara and we asked the client what they need. Basically, they wanted some different type of topologies of lighting during the day. First, it was just really simple, which is just a cleaning. They wanted to have like really bright.
So just let me for those of you who are not that familiar with the software, most of you probably never have worked with the project tool. So basically, what Jesus did for the project, and this is the normal workflow, is that we implement all the dynamic lighting, as we said before, DMX and SPI, into the mapping tool, and then what we do is what we have done is we have exported into the project tool, and in the project tool we support the XF files, which means that we can get directly the lighting layout that we receive from Chiara into a DXF format. And then import it directly here, and basically list all the luminaires that we have in our installation and locate and place into the digital space those luminaires. And here we are dealing at the same time in a totally transparent way with the SPI and DMX luminaires. and the scenes, all the contents that we have created in the other software, but also now with all the functional lighting, with all the DALI 2, the face cut, all the elements are listed here. And what we are going to do, or what we do when we are creating scenes, or moods as we call it in Protopixel, is that we are combining all these different technologies and taking like a snapshot of the system at any particular time, based, of course, on the inputs that we have received from Chiara. And this is basically what what you're going to see. And Jesus is going to explain us what are the scenes that we have on the right side, to what are scenes that correspond to what moment of the day. Also, how we are going to schedule those scenes. So please, Jesus.
Yeah, so basically by having all of them in the software, we started to play with the lighting. Of course, we knew what was the idea behind each of the space and what was the idea behind each of the moods that they required. But after by having all of this together, later on we can adjust on site, and that's something really powerful, because it was really easy now to set all the lighting by each of the time of Akai. Because by just selecting the luminaire, adjusting the brightness, try see how the space feels, later on we can just generate and capturing those moods that in the future the client will require, either by pressing a keypad or also schedule it, this lighting. That's
Presently at Akai, everything is pretty much scheduled, no?
Yeah, most of the time scheduled, but
Yeah.
there are some times when they needed to trigger some scenes because
Manually,
because of a special
some
event.
Yeah.
So that's why they did it. Basically we generate some different lighting, some for.
So these are actually all the scenes that we have in the project.
Yeah, that's basically what we generated for them. Some for the morning, something for lunch, and also for dinner. They wanted to have some dynamic lighting for party, late night.
The integration with the music, it's on the party dinner, no? I guess.
And
That's what.
I think that's something that is very important, in that this has to be simple for
Yeah.
the usability of the client. So we don't need so many scenes. And I hear also the interaction with the natural light that comes. Also, it's something that we have to balance very well. And here we have the opportunity, to provide that.
Yeah. So now I would like to ask you, how do you feel with the process of working with Protopixel, and also with the result, what we have achieved with Akai?
I think it has been really a good process. It has been really very easy, and I think all the concepts that we had in our mind has really came to reality, and that is something that many times doesn't happen. And I think that when you see, the space, as much as I begin to see the photos, I'm more in love with this project. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it has been really a very long project and a very long process. And now when you see the results, when the magic appears, because from the lights and the moods and the dynamism, we really feel very proud and really in love. I'm in love with this project now.
I think that this is one of these projects where actually the real pictures look better than the renders, when normally it's the other way around.
Absolutely.
And I guess that also from the property point of view, that's it's really, really important, not to have that kind of multiple spaces into the same space. No, I think that's also a really, really important concept.
Of course, yeah, because finally, I think that from an investor's point of view, it's like you have everything in the same space, and you don't need. You have always. You can have people that are having lunch, having some eat food. Then they don't need to go away of the space of the local to look for another place to have a drink, and instead they can stay there, and after, if including, you can dance. So I think it's like really great, this kind of new concept that we are beginning to see. and I think that also the public, no, all the social media really are receiving it as a very
we did a little bit of digging, no, and actually it's interesting because you can also Google it or check on Instagram, and this is actually what we found, no, that the place, even though it was open, not so, it's less than a year that it has been open now. I think it was December, I think, December or something like that. Even though like it's a relatively recent project, we have seen that there are a lot of Instagram posts. The place is like really Instagrammable, which is basically what everybody's looking for these days. Or if you just Google it, you see that there are plenty of entries, a lot of customers posting pictures, because the place is like, it's really awesome actually. What do you think? Kiara? Do you think that this kind of concept that we were discussing, like what we have defined as Restaurant 2.0, it's gonna be popular? It can be popular anywhere. It's gonna happen anywhere, because we are getting. I mean, we have some clients, particularly in India. I can remember that are working on similar concepts, and I think it's a concept that can probably work pretty well, no matter cultural differences, or no matter the country. Unlike some other projects that work better in one area than another area, this concept of Restaurant 2.0, I think it's I don't know. I think it's gonna be quite popular. I wanted to know what's your take on that.
Yeah, I think it's a really very good concept, because you can have it all in the same space, and because it's easy. It's easy. You don't have to think about what you're going to do next in the night, and I think that in here for us also, in our point of view, it's great, because now lighting and control takes a main role, and it's not only about interior design and lamps, but it's also about how you think really the scheme in terms of lighting and in terms of control, because that will be what will generate this change of moods during all these new needs that have that space.
So I think we're gonna wrap it up. No, we close here. I don't think we have time for questions now. Just remember, send us your questions. We're gonna reply those questions by email. I wanted to thank you to Jesus and of course to Chiara to be here present physically today. I say bye to everyone, and we'll organize some more interesting webinars anytime in the future.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.